My 35 meters now x32F cheated and I'm feeling replaced. She cheated pretty egregiously at the beginning of the month. We moved across the country together in June and have been together for 3 years, so it's hard to understand. I suspected something was going on for about a month. I caught them making out outside a bar at 2:30 a.m. and told them to go duck themselves. She then did something absolutely mind-boggling to me, which was go home with him and have time with him and spend the night there. 2 days later she said she had to go sit and think after work about everything, but ended up going to a club and going home with him again. It was already over at this point. 2 nights after that she waited until I went to bed, then left to go stay at his place. I told her if she couldn't even have the decency to wait until she was moved out before ducking around with him, and was going to just give me a front row seat to the two of them carrying on, to just pack a bag and leave the key and go stay with him. So she did. Throughout this whole process she kept asking if there was any way she could fix this. Which just makes no sense to me given her actions. Like, maybe you shouldn't have gone home with him when I caught you? Or kept carrying on with him? Just crazy. She's been living out of a suitcase at his place ever since. She has no friends here except him and 2 or 3 other people she knows through work. Oh, yeah, AP is a 23-year-old subordinate coworker lol. I feel like she replaced me entirely. Just in October she got drunk and was talking about how she wanted to marry me. Then this. How is that even possible? How is it so easy for someone to do all of the above things? Like, you get caught, and then just go home with him anyways? WTF? How was it so easy for her to replace me for him? Update, day 8 NC and struggling, together for 3 years. She 32 cheated on me 35 with a 23-year-old line cook. I caught them making out outside a bar on 12/1 and after she still decided to go home with him. She's out of my life now, but I'm struggling so much. The past week actually has been going really well. I'm in a good routine, I'm working out and staying on diet, I stopped drinking entirely, I've been journaling, hanging with friends, etc. Things have been improving a lot. Today I quit vaping. I'd if that's the cause, but I'm just so sad. About what could have been if she was different. About the small things. I'm laying in our bed right now missing holding her, and playing with her hair as she fell asleep. I miss waking up next to her. Making coffee in the morning. Just all kinds of things. I want to reach out, but I know I shouldn't. I don't have anything to say. I wish things were different. So what? It's how things are, and now I'm alone. I'm just sad. And I miss her terribly. But I would never put myself through that again. Still, I just want to hold her. Update, tell me they're not happy and she sucks. My 35 meters x32F of 3 years cheated on me with her coworker 23 meters. They work in a restaurant and she's a sous and he's a line cook or junior sous. I think it started mid-October, but she never admitted it. She spent the night at his house mid-November, just went radio silent, and played it off like she fell asleep on his couch LMWO. After that I was confronting her about potential past infidelities as well as this current one and signed us up for counseling. The night before our therapy appointment 12/1 I caught them holding hands leaving a bar and making out. Confronted them and stormed off, and she decided to go home with him and duck him. She claimed that was their first kiss and that nothing physical happened before, which is obviously idiotic. I kicked her out and she went and lived with him until she found an apartment. Out of a suitcase in his 2BR with a roommate. She went to his family Christmas 3 hours away. They're still together and she told me at one point they have indescribable chemistry. Who says that to their ex after cheating on them? I was on day 12 of NC when she texted me Monday asking if I had some of her stuff and stupidly replied. Now I'm back to feeling icky as that stupid text exchange reignited the trauma bond. She lost 2 of her best friends who sided with me and hasn't really talked to her mom, who's furious with her because she loves me. We moved to this city in June, so the only friends she has here are current and former co-workers and her AP. She only has like 1 or 2 other friends otherwise. In October we went to Vegas and she got drunk and was asking why we weren't married and how badly she wanted to marry me. Then this. Just makes no sense. Just looking for some kind responses about how much she sucks and how she can't possibly be that happy with AP and how it won't last. Lamau. They can't possibly be that happy, right? And a relationship with a 23-year-old Lamau, really? Who's also a coworker. Update, caught my ex possibly cheating on AP. Should I tell him? I 35 meters caught my ex 32F cheating on me at the beginning of December with a 23 meters coworker. Background in my post history. I signed up on a dating app last week and I kid you not, the first profile it showed me was hers. It listed her as single and said she was on a few hours ago. Yesterday was the last conversation I'll probably ever have with her. I got her to tell me she's dating AP, and they're not dating anyone else, which makes it apparent to me that she's cheating on him with this dating app profile already after less than 2 months. Should I tell him about it or just let her sabotage the relationship herself? On the one hand, it'd feel great if it breaks them up lol. On the other, he may not care considering the circumstances. Redditor's reactions next story after. Redditor 1, he won't believe you and will just put it down to you being the jealous ex. Best just to let things take its natural course, as in all honesty, they are made for each other. As the old saying goes, how you get M is how you lose them. He is about to find this all out for himself. End of the day, they aren't even the popcorn. Redditor 2, neither your ex nor the AP are your problem any longer. Disentangle from the sh1t heap, gradually purge them from your mind space. Redditor 3, nah, let them build years of memories and lives together. They'll figure it out on their own and it will be more anguish then. Imagine he's with her 10 years from now and he figures it out, or she catches him. Let them have each other and they'll tear their own hearts apart. Story 2, 3 years later and ex-wife is still playing the victim. So about 2 years ago ex-wife 38F cheated on me twice but only admits to one, even though I have solid evidence. We were together 20 years, married 14. We had it all. Kids, house, great jobs, and I was everything a partner should be, but I admit I was far from perfect. Separation was somewhat amicable. I offered her to keep the house, but she declined. I paid her out since that is all she wanted, which in her words was to move on with her life. After being separated for over a year we officially divorced. During that time during separation and up till now she has stayed with AP. Fast forward to now. She is bitter because she lives in an apartment, blamed me because I forced her to be unfaithful by asking for a separation during an argument after noticing all the changes in personality, lack of intimacy, physical and emotional changes. She feels depressed because her own family and friends cut her off due to her decisions trying to bring AP around a few months in. Looking back, I did and would have done anything for this woman until she proved to be unfaithful. Left her 4 kids to be with AP and now is playing the blame game because things have not turned out like she hoped. To be clear, I tried everything I could to stay in the marriage, but it was never enough for her. Her mind was made up and nothing that I did was good enough. She mostly gets upset because I keep it business-like with her and only communicate when it comes to the kids. I have left many details out for the obvious reasons, but has anyone experienced the ex-partner try to guilt trip you and blame you for how things didn't work out the way they thought it would? I feel bad for her in a way because I did spend 20 years with this person, but at the same time I find it hard to forgive her for what she did. I think she now sees what she's done and regrets every decision leading up to it. She wants to justify her actions and wants to blame me for her miserable life. Comments appreciated. Redditor's reactions next story after. Redditor 1, she blames you for the divorce? Even though it was her decision to move on with life? I dunno man, this sounds like good old-fashioned manipulation from someone who is used to it working. You're doing it right by keeping it business-like. Let me guess, she wants to be like friends or buddies or whatever? Yay, that's not happening when you do what she did. Good luck man. You seem to be moving on well. My ex-fiancé still blames me for not reconciling 3.5 years later to the few mutual friends we have. These people don't like accountability. Op answer, exactly. That is her biggest gripe with me because she wants to be friends and have family functions like nothing ever happened. Her excuse is she grew up in a divorced house and knows how it feels. Ironically or not, her mother was unfaithful to her father. I can sleep at night knowing I did everything I could and kept my vows. Op comment, I love your quote, her version of my history is not important. My ex did the same thing. She signed the separation papers after having them for weeks and then accused me of taking advantage of the situation. I gave her a significant amount of money. I had just refinanced the house so there was no equity. Lucky for me, I gave her a fairly new car that was paid off, and a few months prior I paid off all our debt minus the house. She made out like a pig in acid if you ask me. Redditor follow up, well, this is a pretty big sign she isn't regretful. She's just resentful that she lost the life she had while chasing the life she wants. She's upset she isn't the main character with 2 men fighting to be in her life at the best of their ability, even if she dropped you like a bad habit. She's resentful you aren't sacrificing it all to cater to her, and it's pretty evident she'd gotten used to that in the 20 years you gave her. I can't imagine AP was willing to match your energy. She isn't sorry, she isn't regretful, and certainly not remorseful. She's just mad she isn't getting her cake and eating it too. Redditor 3, opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. I think pitying her is you recognizing you maintain zero feelings for her other than as the mother of your children. I would set stronger boundaries here and not entertain any of these conversations for her to run you down. Walk away when she starts going off in her self-spiral and absolutely ignore it via IM. Don't let her draw you in any more than you need. Move to healthier and happier things and let her wallow in her self-pity. Answer, well said and great perspective. I truly feel indifferent and she reminds me all the time that I am rude by not engaging in conversation. I love your advice. Story 3, should I 48 meters tell my wife 44F that I received a S-time tape of her in the mail? Throwaway, this is an odd thing. Wife and I have been married 20 years. I've never suspected her of cheating and our S-time life has been outstanding. First of the year, I receive a package in the mail. It's a DVD addressed to me, and a typed note that says your eyes only. It's my wife having S-time, separately, with 3 guys. She was younger, much younger, based on body and appearance and hairstyle. It was around the time we were going out, either before, during, or after we were engaged. She grew her hair longer for the wedding and kept it that way. First, I've no idea who sent it to me other than one of those 3 guys in the DVD, none of which I know. I'm assuming it's one of my wife's ex. Second, I've no idea why they sent it. Are they trying to say she was screwing around on me? The tape isn't time-stamped, so I don't have a frame of reference. She kept her hair short for years until we were engaged, so it could have been during a block of time, certainly before we dated. And also, what are they trying to achieve if this was taken before we dated? I know my wife had other partners. Hell, I had 3 times the partners she did before we married, but that was 20 years ago. I think we're past that. But apparently this person or persons isn't. The whole thing is strange. I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't told my wife. I'm not sure how she would take it. She's very S-time-ool and adventurous, but I don't think she'd like the idea of her past catching up to her. But I don't think I'll get to the bottom of this unless I tell her. Edit update. I'm overwhelmed by the responses. Thank you for your interest. I did speak to my wife yesterday afternoon. Some mentioned letting her watch it in private and I gave her that option. She did and we talked at length. Some of it is a bit clearer now. The 2 amateur-looking videos are 2 roommates, taken on the same night. That's why the camera doesn't move and that's why the room is the same. I asked why the bed looks different and she replied the sheets were a bit messy so they changed them before they had another go. The other is a boyfriend she dated when her and I met, before we actually started dating. She knows this man is friends with one of the before mentioned roommates and thinks it's him who got the 3 videos together and sent them to us. Why? She admits that last summer he tried connecting with her on Facebook. When she did, he tried to make it S-time-ool again, so she stopped. She thinks he sent the DVD to cause an issue with us. For the first time I now have doubts. Her answers are logical but seem a bit off to me. And honestly, I may be just upset that she did 2 guys in one night. I know it was 20 years ago, but that's still hard to take. Call me shallow if you want. Also, she didn't seem shaken by the DVD or the fact I had it, merely irritated that this person sent it. I had the idea she'd rather I didn't have it, but now that I did, oh well. It still leaves many questions unanswered, such as why the tapes are from 96-97 and the DVD was made in 2013, but I'm just getting it now? That may be minor, but it may be everything. Plus, how does this gentleman know where I live? Facebook doesn't give you that information. Being in contact with someone does, so now you see why I have doubts. Thanks to you all for your concern and feedback. I love my wife and cherish her, and her past is her past, but for some reason it's slapping us in the face right now. I will take some time between the 2 of us to figure out what is truly going on. Edit 2. I want to clarify something. I've been getting a lot of feedback, mostly negative, where everyone is irritated with me that I'm upset with my wife for being with 2 men in the same night. None of my business. It was 20 years ago. I should man up, that sort of thing. Look, I said it was hard to take. Most men understand their partner was with different people before them. But seeing their spouse with 2 men on the same night is hard to handle. I didn't say I was changing my view of her, or leaving, or any other angst you want to put on me. It's just a difficult thing for a married man to see and realize. I'll get past it, but it's not an easy thing. And for everyone who says it was 20 years ago, lighten up. I challenge you to sit back, grab a beer and watch 2 young men have intercourse with your wife on the same night and see how you feel about it. Frustrated at best. You won't love her less, but you'll not feel great afterwards, trust me. So thanks for everyone calling me in a shoal, but until you're in that position I'll ignore you. Thank you very much. Final edit. This will be my final edit. Thank you all for your support, but all I will say is, it's time for me to make some decisions. I hacked into my wife's Facebook account, childish and immature I'll admit, but I did it nonetheless. And I found things disturbing enough that I need to think long and hard about what I do next. I've given her the benefit of the doubt through this entire thing. Now a shadow had been cast and I'm questioning her more than ever before. Heartbroken is putting it mildly. It's time for me to work on my life and myself. Thanks to everyone and their interest. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, definitely tell her. If her past is coming to catch up with her, she should be aware of it. Also, you'll never know what really happened until you ask. Redditor follow up, yep, I agree with this. Talk to her. 3 possibilities that I can think of. 1. Likely someone is blackmailing her or tried to. 2. This is a tape that's more recent than you think and someone wants you to know. 3. This is a tape as old as you think, but someone is hoping seeing your wife with 3 dudes will cause you problems anyway. Talk to her either way, or maybe just tell her a tape came in. And you'd like her to see it. And then play it. Gauge her reaction. See what she says. You decide. I'd talk to her about it first though. Edit for edit. How did the ex-boyfriend get the videos? She's not sure if he sent them. Does she know he had the videos? Edit 1-2+. Some other suggestions from comments lol. 4. She did cheat back then, but she's going to play it off like it's option 3 and he has no way of knowing otherwise. 5. Family or friend found these online and didn't know what to do or say. They probably had no clue how to approach the situation. Hell, I don't think anyone has a script for this stuff. They figured best option was to mail it anonymously and let you figure it out from there. Wash their hands of the knowledge. 6. She put the tape in the mail for him to find for some reason, which maybe she wants to break up the marriage but hopes will do it when he sees the tape, or she thinks it's scandalous and a little bit naughty and using it as a means to spice up their marriage. 7. The wife sent it to see how he feels about swinging without having to bring it up on her own. She has plausible deniability but gets to feel him out on his view. 8. One of the dudes randomly found it and simply thought it'd be funny to mail it to whoever she's ducking these days. 9. She sent it to gauge his reaction. 10. One of those gentlemen received a transmittable disease and this is his revenge. 11. She is secretly a mother to a child conceived in the video. 12. She mailed it to the husband herself as some kind of fetish thing. 13. An email friend found the tape and sent it. The motive there could be blackmail, jealousy, thing for the husband, or some sort of self-righteous truth-cleansing BS. 14. One of the guys who kept it was dating engaged to his current wife at the time it was made and she found it and sent it to op as some sort of way of getting back at the wife. Not that I personally think the wife is responsible for a cheating guy's actions. 15. Someone close to the wife, someone that has access to her belongings from when she was younger, found it and thought he deserved to know, thinking that it was during their relationship. Redditor 2, it's actually pretty disturbing that someone sent you this 20 years later. Something about the time frame is unsettling. Why now? Is it a joke? Is someone trying to hurt your marriage? Is someone obsessed with your wife? What is going on here? Definitely tell her, who knows, she might be able to crack the case. Op answer, that's what I don't understand. If it's a more recent tape I could get the endgame, but this was around the time we dated, before we dated. What are they trying to do here? Are they still obsessed with her 20 years later? Or are they trying to get me to think she cheated while we dated? Questions I don't have answers to. Redditor 3, I need an update. Redditor 4, someone is sending you what is basically revenge PRN with a smaller audience. Yes, tell her. Redditor follow up, my ultimate concern is that it's 20 years later, and whomever sent it knows where they live. If they're psychotic enough to send the video, who knows what else they're capable of. Redditor 5, someone is trying to hurt her by hurting you. Tell her you're not upset but you received a video. You don't want to get into detail, but herself and 3 different men were in it. She needs to know someone is trying to hurt her. Op answer, and that's what I don't get. This was roughly 20 years or more ago. Why send this now? What did they gain?